Okay, perfect. Uh, you know that you usually forget to write titles for your essays, so I don't know what is the topic you're writing about. So do you think the writing titles is important um, when you write essays? If it's important, just write yes in the chat box. Okay, for sure it's important. Writing a title will tell the reader this is the first thing that catches or gets the eyes of the readers or the attention of the reader. So if you have a good title, for sure you will attract the readers or people to read whatever you're doing. So title is really important, and many people don't know how to write a title. Some students write complete sentences, and complete sentences are not titles. Some people write a question, complete question, for example, and this is wrong. The title is the first thing that the article, or I'm sorry, the title is the first thing that uh, the reader will see. Okay, so it needs to be catchy, needs to be getting the attention, and it needs to be correct as well. So a person who's assessing your task, a person who's giving you a mark, the first impression or the first thing he sees is wrong. Can you imagine? Your title is wrong. So what's the impression I get about your paper? Hmm? So writing a good title or a correct, at least correct titles is really important. So how do I write a correct title or um, uh, a right one? So we have some rules actually for writing a title. So it's not by luck or by whatever we used to do in the past. We have some rules we need to know. So today I'm going to discuss these rules with you. So there are some guidelines for that. A headline or title is a short, clear summary of the information which is presented in a new report or article. So you just summarize the information which is presented in the news report or the article or the essay. Let's say essay. In your essay, you need to summarize all this and write it in your title. How come? How come I summarize for 150 words? No, it's not in that meaning. It's like something related to this, something refers to what you're saying. So you need to think of something related to your task or topic. So when writing titles, you should give a clear idea of what the article is about. So the main topic of your article should be mentioned in the title. You should also try to arouse the reader's interest, get their attention, get their interest to continue reading or with a catchy title, as I said. There are a variety of ways to do this. For example, if you're writing a description of a holiday destination, you could use adjectives to make the place sound attractive even before the reader starts reading the article itself. So from the title, I know that I'm gonna read something catchy, something good, something inspiring, for example. So if your article or I'm saying article here, but it's applied in essays as well. Clear? This is in the book that I've submitted to you before. It's called Virginia Evans, page 142. And I submitted the PDF. I got the important points and I put them in a PowerPoint and I attached them to our PowerPoint in Google Classroom. But if you want to go to the resources or the original book, this is the book itself. So if the article involves or the essay involves the presentation of an opinion, balanced arguments, so if it's an opinion essay, or are balanced arguments like for and against, it's balanced now, or solution to a problem, this is the third type we don't have actually. So you can address the reader directly, like what you can do to save the planet, or present a question, is capital punishment the answer? So this is the way, but it's not always writing questions in the title. Alternatively, and especially in more formal articles, you could just present the topic in a short statement like this. The role of the monarchy in Britain today, the role of the city council in our city, for example. Try to keep the title or the headline short and remember that the style of the title or headline, of course, is formal. We have formal and semi-formal, but for us, We follow the formal style. We don't follow the semi-formal one. Our task should be formal. So what are the rules to write the title? There are some certain rules actually to write a title. Firstly, the first rule is use the present simple tense to describe events which have occurred very recently. Like if something happened in the past, but recently, it happened recent, like few days ago, few weeks ago, write it as in the title in the present simple. Like for example, typhoon kills 10, or Corona or COVID-19 kills 10. If something that happened lately or recently, so write it in the past. You might say that it happened in the past, but no, write it in the present, even if it happened in the past, because it's in the recent past. So it means that 10 people have died probably in the last 24 hours in typhoon. So this is the first rule. If something happened in the recent past, write it in the present simple. The second rule, omit. Omit means a drop or don't write. Omit the verb to be when using the passive voice to describe a past event. For example, forests destroyed. This should be originally forests were destroyed. Cyclist injured. It should be cyclist was injured. So when you write a title, as I said, you will not write a complete sentence. You will not write cyclist was injured. No, cyclist injured directly. So we drop verb to be in the passive voice. We don't write it in the title. Are you following with me? So far, so good? If yes, just write yes
Yeah.
in the chat box. Okay. Hello? Are you okay? Just write yes in the chat box if you're following with me. Okay, very good. Let's continue. The third rule is write to be, and the past participle when using the passive voice to describe the future event. For example, summit meeting to be held. Don't write a summit meeting is going to be held because now it's a complete sentence and we do not write complete sentences in titles. So what to do, right? If something's going to happen in the future, write summit meeting to be done, to be held, to be made, a conference to be made. That's it. So this is how to write a title in the future. When using active voice to describe a future event, write that to infinitive form only. For example, council to close nightclubs. So the council is going to close. No, don't write a complete sentence. We just write to and the verb or the action it will do. So council to close nightclubs. Omit means I said drop articles. No articles in the title. So and the, as in man questioned in murder case. Don't say a man was questioned. Have you noticed? He dropped was, he dropped a. Was is the first rule here. So I don't say a man was questioned in a murder case. So I dropped a before man. I dropped was before questioned. I dropped the a before murder case, a murder case. So its final title is Man Questioned in Murder Case. Put nouns one after the other, as in murder investigation team baffled. What is this? Which means that a team of people working on an investigation related to a murder are baffled. So how do I write this long sentence in a short, correct title? Just put the nouns together. So it's going to be murder investigation team baffled. Because I cannot write here were baffled or are baffled. Avoid using prepositions like to or from where possible. For example, New York plane crashes. So rather than a plane which was flying to New York has crashed. So instead of saying a plane which was flying, I do not write which. I do not write from and to. Okay. So the last rule is using abbreviations like UK, FBI, DNA. So for example, US satellite launched instead of a United States satellite was launched. So how many rules we applied here? We removed United States, we made it US. Was launched and passive, we made it launched without was. We dropped verb to be. Am I right so far? So this is how to write a title. So people who joined late, let me take the attendance, please. Just a second. I will go quickly and tell you what we're talking about. Okay, so let's continue. People who joined late, we're talking about writing title for our essays. So we have some rules actually to write correct or good titles. So I've discussed these rules because this is the first impression you give to the reader. Your title is very important. Apart from those students who forget to write title at all, No, those who remember, but they write it wrong or write a complete sentence. No, we have some rules for writing a title. You need to bear in mind or think of these rules. Okay. So what are these rules? Sorry, I'm gonna share it again. Yes. So now let's read the following titles or articles and say what you think the type and the topic of it. Leave this exercise. We will do this one. Let's do this one. Change the following sentences into headlines applying the theories above. So I will leave it to you. I will give you, let's say, 4 minutes. Think of these four sentences, complete sentences, and let's change them into titles. Clear? Can you please think of it? You can start.
Mister, we send the answers in the chat.
Please write your answers in the chat box. Change these sentences into titles. How do you write this as a title for your essay? Write it in the chat box. Now you have 2 minutes to write. You had 1 minute to think. Now we have 2 minutes to write your answers in the chat box.
Mister, we send it in chat. Mister, I did for all 4 questions.
Okay, can we say that? We cannot say that. Apply the rules. Try to apply the rules. So let's try the first one. Thank you for those who submitted some answers. Yeah, I have some good answers actually. Uh, yes, I have good answers. So let's do the first one. The wreck of 14th century pirate ship has been discovered of Rose Sound. So the wreck of 14th century pirate ship. So I can say 14th century pirate ship wreck, I put it as an adjective here, has been discovered or just discovered? Discovered. Discovered of Ross Sound. So this is the answer. So 14th pirate ship wreck discovered of Ross Sound. Thank you for those who answered correct. Number 2, Baroness Emilia Phipp will marry Lord Clement. Now, this is the name of a woman. Will, in the future, marry Lord Clement. So it's really easy. So it's going to be parents, Emilia Phipps. Will here will change into what? Into to be done, something to be held. So to marry Lord Clement. Is it clear? Parents, Emilia Phipp to marry Lord Clement. Large-scale fraud has been exposed at Vervin's Bank. So, large-scale fraud exposed Vervin's Bank. Or we can say Vervin's Bank large-scale fraud. This is another answer. Teachers from Belfast have been angered by education cuts. Can I say teachers from Belfast or Belfast teachers? Teachers from Bahrain or Bahraini teachers? Teachers from Egypt or Egyptian teachers? So Belfast teachers angered by education cuts. So this is how to write a title. Actually, I focused mainly today on some rules. And as I said, this lesson is in the Google Classroom. I already, you have also a Google form, just the 3 sentences to change them into just write title, okay? So you will not write essay or anything for today. You will just change the sentences into titles in a Google form. And this is in Virginia Evans' book. I submitted it in last term on our website, in our Google Classroom. And you have a Google form for it. So that was the part of my lesson for today, how to write a title. If you have any questions, thank you for your answers, everyone. You've answered actually, yes. So if you have any questions, please write in the chat box.